Hi guys, this is Brandon Aponte here. We're doing my persuasive speech. I got my mom, her fiance, and my girlfriend Mackenzie here. So without any further ado, here we go. Okay, my persuasive speech is on why we should use solar energy as opposed to nuclear and coal energy. Solar energy, what comes to mind when you hear me say that? If you probably think of it as something that's still years away from being relevant, you're wrong. In the past 5 years, solar energy has become increasingly more affordable, more efficient, more productive, and easier to install. The truth is, it's time to focus on solar energy now more than ever. As production prices drop and the environment worsens, we need to make the world a safer and cleaner place. Throughout the speech, I'm going to focus on three main points. The first point is need. Why should we care about solar energy? Why is it important? The second point is satisfaction. How will using solar energy benefit me as a person or as a consumer, I guess you would say. And the third point is visualization. I'm going to show you a little bit of what a world that is run by clean energy, what it would look like. So let's start off with main point number one here. Why is it beneficial? Solar energy is beneficial because it's safe, it's clean. As far as safety is concerned, you think about all the power lines outside, you know, a bad storm, it gets down in the road, it becomes a hazard to everyone around it. When you have things like solar panels in a residential application where it's on your house, you don't need that line out there anymore. That's one less hazard that you have outside, you know, during storms and stuff like that. Also, another thing is any sort of power outages that may be caused have been eliminated from the fact that you don't have any lines outside. So if a line gets taken down outside, it's not affecting you because you have your solar panel on your house. Another thing, it's clean. It's 100% clean. There's no bad emissions from solar panels. I mean, that alone should be enough to convince you. You know, nuclear and coal energy, we've seen the effects of greenhouse gases. We've heard about climate change and global warming. So that's just something to kind of think about here. This is from an editorial by Nick Carey. It basically covered the main reasons why people are skeptical and kind of hold back is that the upfront costs are huge. I mean, even though we've come down in price on solar panels and the installation process and the technology, it's still pretty expensive for the average household to, you know, have put in, or even for companies to have, you know, solar fields put in. It's still a pretty high cost up front. But a lot of people are starting to take that risk and are kind of betting on the long run scenario of what would be better. So we're starting to see more people kind of take that leap of faith and go towards using it. Another source here is from Bill Meyer, who said that in 2021, utilities must get 12.5% by renewable sources. So that means all your electric companies now around this area, it's First Energy. By 2021, 12.5% of their energy is going to have to come from either solar or wind energy. So we should see a boost in cleaner technology from that alone. Now let's move on to the second point of why it's beneficial to me as a consumer. It's beneficial to us as consumers because it's essentially limitless energy. Fossil fuels, they will run out eventually. There's only so much oil, so much fossil fuels in the earth. You know, the sun, yeah, it'll run out eventually, but it's not going to be anytime soon. So it's something that we can focus on and use pretty much limitlessly for us. According to the director of Future Planet Research Center, David Toe, he predicts that recent advances in solar energy will help shift the reliance from fossil fuel to renewable resources to save us from pretty much our own path to extinction with the way we've been going. Another little fact from his article here is that solar energy absorbed by Earth's oceans, atmosphere, and land in less than 2 hours is enough to power the entire world for a year. So just the light we get now for 2 hours would power all the Earth's consumption for a whole year. So that's a pretty big statistic there. Another article from Aruna Bagash in the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists. He went to India to see how they were applying solar energy and stuff like that over there. He found that by the end of March of this year, the solar industry grew 200-fold in 5 years. So that's a pretty big number, and that's a country that is less developed than we are. So they're using it even more than we are, because the solar energy is easier for them to get a hold of than nuclear energy or fossil fuels or anything like that. Another reason why it's beneficial is solar energy adds jobs to the economy. And from this article, it said that India's government plans to add 100,000 jobs for solar energy by 2022. So they're actually putting their own people back to work who haven't been able to find work or anything like that. From there, we're going to move on to my final point here. A world with clean energy. I know it's kind of hard to imagine now, but I just want to kind of maybe take a second and think about what that might be like. No more nuclear reactors, no more Davis-Besse over by the coastline over there. You know, no more power outages during storms, because your solar energies will have backup batteries that can supply you power, you know, when the sun's not out or when inclement weather. You don't have to worry about that anymore. According to Arise Solar, which is a solar company, by 2030, with the technology that we will have gained and the information we have learned about solar technology, it would take about a solar field about the size of Spain to power the entire world. So you could, you know, roughly take that up and break them up into places where people don't live, like deserts and even on the cities of rooftops, so that people can get their electricity from a local area. Obviously, you can't just have one big giant one, but you could break up roughly the size of Spain across the world, which would be actually a really small portion and fairly easy to cover to power the entire world and not have to worry about any non-renewable resources. Okay, so this is my conclusion. I've shown you need, satisfaction, and visualization throughout my presentation. I've shown you some very important facts from credible resources that hopefully have educated you a little more on solar energy.